30th, which we just embarked on. Guru Govind Doyo Khade Kake Lagu Pai Balihari Guru Aapne Govind Diyo Dikhaye. My Guru and Govind, which is the Lord, both are in front of me. Whose feet should I touch first? I surrender to my Guru, who has shown me the path to Govind. Whose feet should I touch first? He is just trying to be very poetic. Don't ever imagine it would happen. This would never happen, that God and Guru would appear together, unless you see the very God in your own chosen Guru. When I say chosen Guru, because even though we bow down to all the Gurus of yore, it is the one who helps you evolve directly is one you bow down to. But it is, even though you bow down to your Guru, it is literally bowing down to the lineage of all Gurus, right? So the Guru, as we know, the definition of a Guru literally means one who dispels one's darkness, one who really gets rid of your ignorance. So darkness here literally means your ignorance. There's a beautiful saying, give light and people will find their way. You just show light, you just give light and people will find their way. So a Guru's job is to do that. He just gives out the wisdom, the knowledge, and people will find their way to the higher, to the truth. So when we talk of the Doha title, obviously is given as Guru or God. It's not a choice. It is a choice, but it's very clear. You bow down and surrender to the Guru. Now, when you take a reference of a Guru is to be understood as one who shows the path to Godhood. He gives you the path, he leads you to Godhood, which is the path. He gives you the path to Godhood. So the Guru is the ideal. IDOL, I'm sorry. The Guru is the idol. And the God is the goal, which is the objective of the spiritual efforts. So the God is the ideal. So Guru is the idol, IDOL, and God is the ideal. Now, there are many reasons why we are saying so. Now, to begin the thought or the argument, we are saying the Guru is the idol, and God is ideal. In fact, at the very end of the argument, we will conclude and say the Guru itself is the ideal. Now, it's not to confuse, but just to bring out a very valid, pertinent point. Now, See, these are opportunities where you can expand beyond the obvious what the Doha is saying. Now, I want you all to think, why do we say firstly that the Guru is considered as an idol and God is the ideal? Guru is the idol. Why is it? There's one fundamental reason, a very, very powerful reason. As I said, there could be a few reasons why we think that way. One of the very powerful reason is to ensure or offset one of the most or the biggest attachments one develops in the spiritual field. One of the biggest attachments one develops in the spiritual field, attachment to the Guru himself or herself. And as you understand, any attachment is ultimately an impediment. If you're really seriously thinking of getting to the goal of Godhood or realization, any attachment is going to limit you. Any attachment is going to become a blockage. It doesn't help you to get to the goal. So ultimately, you must get rid of the attachment to the Guru as well. But many in the spiritual field have developed a fanatic attachment to the Guru. So they have given an overwhelming importance to the personality. So they have developed an attachment to the personality, which is not the objective of associating with the Guru. Even in relationship, you don't develop an attachment to the physicality, isn't it? Reddy Garu, SR? Any relationship, it is not the physicality, isn't it, sir?
Like you have been mentioned, Guruji, earlier that follow the teachings, not the lifestyles of the
not the lifestyles or not the personality.
Personalities.
So when you worship, or when he says in the verse that I surrender to my Guru, who has shown me the path to Godhood, surrendering to the Guru is not surrendering to the physical personality. It's not the personality, isn't it?
Yes.
Because the presence of the personality is very short-lived in one's life. You can have a Guru who you have never even had a glimpse of, isn't it?
Yes.
So it is not the personality, it is the teachings. But as we said, one of the biggest attachments people develop in the field is to the personality, to the person, to the individuality.
Yes.
So in order to break that attachment, we are saying Guru is just an idol. Are you able to connect these two?
Yes.
And any idol has to be dropped to reach the ideal. Ultimately, we have to drop it. Maybe one of the last things that would go is the attachment to the Guru himself or herself. You may hold on to the Guru as your spiritual savior, because one who helps you raise, one who helps you evolve by developing detachment to everything else in life.
Guruji, I think the most of the way for thinking is that we convert the Guru itself as a God. The current way of understanding.
Yeah.
We don't see the God because we see the Guru itself as a God, but I don't know whether how far we're talking about making an essence there in that. And the Gurus also goes by the countdown of number of followers he has it, and it's all been, and the people start imitating as what Guru say. Guru behaves, not that. But I have not seen come across they strictly following the teachings when it comes to the teachings and implementation, the practices. Yeah. But the style and the right from the wearing the clothes to the making the superficial facts of arrangements and everything makes a totally confusion in the current world whether to follow the Guru or be following the God.
Yeah. No, it is you're placing the Guru out of proportion, the whole context. Now, here there is not an iota of disrespect to the Guru or lack of surrender to the Guru here. But what is being mentioned is, as you rightly said, you're giving the personality so much importance. It takes a precedence over everything else. So it becomes a cult. It becomes a personality worship. Now, I don't want to take names, but because it's not intended, I don't have any, I don't harbor any such feeling because it's an individualistic journey. What inspires one, you should hold on to. But I wouldn't want to take mention of names because it's going to get me into trouble. You just put a statue of a personality, and then people start flocking in countless numbers. Hundreds and thousands of people flock these shrines because you have just put an altar of a personality there. I just question, are you reminded of all the values that man lived? Why are you just worshipping a statue of that person? What are you not trying to imbibe the rich values or the principles that he became great with? There is no mention of, again, it's just an idol worship, an empty worship. What's the difference? What's the difference between?
Sorry, Guruji.
Yeah,
maybe
please.
Creating that particular statue and everything, like people can't get connect formless, so most probably they were trying to create it, but definitely the size matters there. Whether in a small miniature also can be a form and it can be a magnitude of, that also makes anything. There is no need to spend and energies and efforts rather than inscribing the teachings very clearly. We are not reading anything in the walls, what the teaching says. We are only talking about the form, and the form can't give the teachings, that's for sure.
The accent is on the wrong side. There's so much effort being wasted, In fact, the Shastras go in the Gita, it is Arjuna, as you know, was told by the Lord when his guru, Arjuna's guru was, thanks, Cesar, RPG, you become a rare visitor, but whenever visitors come, we welcome them, We don't welcome people who are inmates, no. We welcome visitors. So when I go back home, my wife will not say, welcome home. She will never say, Ayo, she'll say, oh, this fellow has come back. So she'll hold her head, and she may not, hold her head, but I know the mindset, what's going on in her. I'm sure Milima also will not.
Like a bad rupee. Yeah.
A bad rupee. I'm sure Milima also thinks that way, no? She also would say, yo, this fellow has come back so quickly.
The problem now is he doesn't leave often enough. That's the problem.
Why is this fellow not going out? Yeah, correct. Yes,
So
sir.
you asked
So,
Arjuna's guru?
yeah, who was Arjuna's guru?
Hmm. I'm gonna guess. I'm not up on my Vedic history. Dronacharya?
You got your history right. Hold on to
Okay.
that history.
All right.
What little history you know, you can boast of it. You can just say, I know a lot of history, you know. So in the text Mahabharata, you know, Arjuna guru was Dronacharya, and Dronacharya was supporting the Kauravas, the
Kauravas.
opposite army, the unrighteous force. And there was no way they would have won the battle as long as Dronacharya, you know, until he surrendered, there was no way, or he was killed. There was no way they could establish Dharma. So there was this predicament. That's what the whole predicament Arjuna goes into. Am I to kill my own guru? Am I to kill my own kinsman? Am I to kill my own, you know, friends and relatives, the cousins I've known from childhood? Am I to fight? But the biggest predicament was, am I to shoot my own guru? And the advice Arjuna was, do your dharma, do your duty, do your karma. So he was advocated, he was told to fight his own guru, to kill, to establish dharma. So what do you get from that? If your guru becomes an obstacle in your goal to reach the goal, you may have to go beyond the guru to get to the goal. If I'm saying so, objective is, the point here making is, do not develop an attachment to the guru, to the personality. The guru stands only for the values and the principles that he lives by. So what you got to associate, the reminder or association with the guru should remind you of the principles he lives for. Other than that, the personality should be taken out of the equation. But however, you'll go to whatever extent, if you have to physically serve your guru, you will do so. Let's say if your guru is someone who is paralyzed and he needs to be taken in a wheelchair, if you want to serve him, you will do all that seva. Because he needs help, you will serve him. You can't say, no, I will not get into the physicality of it. No, if you have to serve him, you'll do that. If your guru needs help, you will do that. But it is not to develop an attachment to the guru, the personality. So therefore, we are saying the guru is just an idol. The ideal is the goal. Everywhere you look around, there is this fanatic attachment to the personality. For that reason, if you have come to the institute or the foundation, you will find there is no consciously, but there's not a single day, including this morning, where you don't bow down or surrender to the guru. You don't bow down. It must happen silent acknowledgement. It is not that you have to start putting pictures and portraits and statues, and only in this country we see it. We don't see as much in other countries. Even you travel the world, you don't see every street corner there's a statue of a politician or some celebrity or some fellow, you know. Only in this country, statues become the roundabouts. So you're doing pradakshanam around them, whether you like it or not. Why should you? The same thing goes the moment I visit your house. Gayatri Ma, she has never invited me to her house, but I want to go and see her, see one day. Gayatri Ma.
Guruji.
Okay, no?
Yes, Guruji.
But now, the moment I say this, then you will make all the changes in the house.
May not be.
May not be, okay. You know what generally people do?
Guru is coming, clean up everything and keep show
No,
off
no,
the-
not that. I'm not talking of that. I'm sure you are very clean. In the context of it, what am I saying?
They may put up his, some books and other things to show that they have the reverence.
Ayyo. See, even in homes, you find people start putting their pictures and portraits of their family, and it is all over. What does that mean? And anybody comes, oh, this is my son, that is my daughter, my son's family, my daughter's family, my grandchildren, my great grandchildren. What are you doing? What is that?
We are idolizing them.
Idealizing them, announcing your attachment to the world. All that time you're seeing them, all the time you're remembering them, all the time you're binding your thoughts to them. I don't know, don't you get tired of it? Other day, in fact, Pushpama, she gave 3 frames from the inauguration of the Wisdom Institute. She took a couple of photographs of me and Vijaya, and she framed and gave it. And that is what is there in a room. Is there? And every time I see, I'm sick and tired of seeing myself. I can't say my wife, but because I'm telling you, never mind. But I want to see, when can I take it off and put it inside? I can't. In fact, I've advised this, however, I may not have been understood or appreciated. When a person passes away in the family, they have this culture of putting the picture, at least for the first 11 days, they do, and they perform these rites and things. And then thereafter, they have a bigger portrait of him or her, and they keep it in the living room, and that does not help the person at all. The person who's attached, it could be their spouse or near and dear. It doesn't help that person to come out of that mindset, because all the time they're reminded of that person, all the time. So I advised the family, a few who I knew very closely. That gentleman's father had passed away. The mother was so terribly attached to her husband. We were in Singapore. I remember having this discussion, take out that picture frame from the house. Put it aside, don't have to display it. At least, as they say, out of sight, out of mind, isn't it? But every time something keeps lingering in front of you, you're often reminded of that. So if you are truly wanting to be detached, please take out all the photo frames in your house. Just go and take it out and put them back again when your children are coming, because they may not like it. For their sake, at least you do it. So please, all of you should personally, UK, you should take a photo of the walls or your shelves where you have these portraits and pictures, okay? And then after you remove them, take a photo and send to me. Okay, UK?
Yes, Guruji. We don't have Guruji as such. We don't have.
I know. I really very vividly recall you don't have any at home. That's why I told you. But because if I tell of someone who has, then you say, oh, this person is very attached, you will think. Of the homes I visited, I see all over scattered with photos.
But Guruji, it can be just to remind you of, like suppose somebody's grandchild is in abroad or something, you're not able to see them. So suppose you display their, nowadays you have an equipment where the photos keep, on their own, they keep changing. So what's wrong in that, Guruji? Just to have a look at them and have a smile or have a good feeling about it. It's a small child.
My appeal is life has greater purpose.
Of course.
Life should be far more meaningful and purposeful than just attaching yourself to your child and grandchild and say, oh, my child, oh, my dear, oh, so sweet you are, as if you're the only person who has a grandchild in the world.
No, definitely.
Why can't you think of all those who don't have children, who don't have grandchildren?
Yeah.
What about other kids? Why are you so, see, this is a silent attachment, and the same disease you carry to the spiritual field as well. It's a disease, ma.
Yes.
We're trying to cleanse the disease,
Yeah.
and we can't find a reason to justify and say why not. It's a weakness. What I'm saying when I say disease, pardon me for saying that, but what I'm saying is it is a emotional dependency.
Yeah.
You are dependent. It is you become a slave to them.
Yes.
No, let's say if I am attached to my child, I'm putting my child's picture. Is a child also putting your picture there and all the time saying, oh, my mother, so sweet, mother of mine? They're not even bothered.
Yeah.
They are having their families and moving on. You are still holding on to them.
True.
Who is dependent? Am I dependent or they're dependent? Setuji, will you endorse, sir? I know Setuji will not endorse. That's why I asked Setuji.
Hariom Guruji. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I am trying to understand now.
This is a very diplomatic answer.
No, what you say makes sense. Maybe if people have lot of rooms, one room they can dedicate.
And then don't enter that room. You can dedicate it and don't enter that room.
All of them there to that room. It's like a museum.
It's a museum. You know, I keep saying I should not use in the context. So when people, let's say, are eating non-vegetarian, you know, I keep telling to myself they're eating dead bodies. You should never go and tell them, why are you eating dead bodies, man? Dead bodies you're eating. Can anybody eat dead body? You have a revulsive feeling, but it could be very well cooked, and it could be marinated, and it could be barbecued, and it has got that sauce, this testing, that presentation, and whatever. It's very beautiful, but what are you eating? Actually, a dead body, a dead carcass.
Maybe Guruji, as one evolves, all this will drop off. Initially, they will be there, and with the time,
it has to. So it has to happen with time. So a job of a guru is to help you evolve, to let go of your attachments, ultimately let go of your attachment to him itself. It's like, in fact, Ashama so beautifully messaged me. She said, mother teaches the child to take the first few steps, but then the child learns to run by himself. So you have the mother is like the guru holding the child, helping you, but thereafter the guru ensures that the shishya, the student, the child doesn't need the guru, transcend the guru. But the shishya should never have the arrogance that, oh, I have made it and I don't need the guru. It's not the arrogance that students should develop. Therefore, the quality of a student must always have that quality of surrender, to bow down and prostrate, so that you don't develop an ahankar. But a true guru helps the student become independent of the guru. So the Guru should not become a thorn, sir. So remove the thorn. Any attachment, you must remove it, sir. Setuji?
Yeah.
I will visit later in the day, sir, to see the changes. Maybe you may say, sir, give me a little time, he might say. Okay, sir?
Yeah.
He's not saying welcome, you see, huh? Otherwise, he's very welcoming. But today, he doesn't sound that welcoming. It's okay. I got the point, Setuji. Right. Arviji, I noted your expression. You know, there's a term, very powerful term I've used. You know, you're holding on to the dead carcasses.
Mm.
Mhm. So these are all, if I can say, these are all the carcasses in spiritual path. It is no use. It doesn't help you. It is lifeless. The teachings have a life. The moment I remind myself of the teachings, what Sant Kabir ji is saying, it regenerates me. Vis-a-vis me putting a life-size statue of Sant Kabir in front of me. And do what? Do Abhishekam to Sant Kabir? Special ghee, purest form of ghee I'm doing. And then purest form of honey I'm pouring. And achieve what out of it? Can you imagine me having life-size statues of all great personalities, great Tyagaraja? Oh, what a great personality. And every time I listen to his kirtanas, I tell you, you get goosebumps. Other day I was doing some karma somewhere, and the only thought that came to my mind was to play Pancharatna Kritis. I don't know whether you ever heard. You should. And if you can develop a taste for those gems, Pancharatna, Ratna is gem. These are the 5 gems of the great Tyagaraja, you know. So, and you're listening to the great Kirtana, attuning your heart, your feelings to the divine. Where is that vis-a-vis putting a statue of Saint Tyagaraja, which they do in Tiruvayur, isn't it? A temple of the great Tyagaraja annual festival they celebrate every year in December. So you just look at the pros and cons, look at the two sides. Am I to remind myself of what that man has left behind, or hold on to the personality and get stuck to it? If the personality reminds you, do so, but go beyond the personality.
See, I liken it to the, oh, sorry.
Yes. No, go ahead, RPG.
So I liken it to the branch moon metaphor, right?
Yeah.
The guru
yes.
serves as the pointer, right? We are babes, we are children, we don't know where to look in the sky, we don't know how to look, we don't even know to look, right? And then slowly, this knowledge comes out, and it's the guru that says, you see that branch? And he or she helps point out to us, right? And I hate to, and this will sound crass, but you know, I think just through this process of this studying, this entire relationship, for which we're all very grateful, but it's a means to an end, hopefully, right?
That's what we're saying.
And very grateful and in awe of the whole thing. But at the end of the day, it's a means to an end. And you can't get caught up in the books or the whatever it is. But yeah, it's you know, the guru is it's interesting. It's not always a happy relationship either, right? Because the guru, which you never do, often, I'm kidding, you often do, put you in your place, right? And remind you that this is a tough journey.
See, I don't get so many chances because visitors, they don't come often, you know. But if I get a chance, I'll do that.
Yeah, no, I know. You wait for it, actually.
I love doing that. No, you're absolutely right. It's only that's what we said. An idol should be treated as a means to an end. The moment it becomes an end in itself, it's a symbol of attachment. It has to be a means to an end. And you can't get to that higher without a guru, because the guru knows exactly where you are. A guru knows exactly what you're attached to. And there's an acute perception. And if you allow the guru will help you to break that knot. You should allow the guru. When you don't allow the guru will not do anything. Because the principle we mentioned yesterday's class, the knowledge is always taken and never given. So you shouldn't. He would not go about dishing out his knowledge. It will not help. It will not help. So surrender is a very important element in a guru-shishya relationship. And surrender suggests what, the moment I say surrender, what do you understand, Harish? The mere mention of the term surrender, what do you understand?
Hariom Guruji. The word surrender means that we have no ego or arrogance whatsoever. We accept it as the truth, and basically there's no ego and there's no arrogance. We accept it.
Okay. Now, just to help you revisit your answer, I'll give you an example. You go to a doctor and don't you surrender to the doctor?
Yes.
Would you say, I have no ego, therefore I have surrendered to the doctor?
No.
So you have to recast your answer.
I understand. Basically, the guru is, or the doctor is an expert in the medical field, as well as the guru is an expert in the wisdom field of knowledge. So we're surrendering to that expert for their knowledge and wisdom in this case.
So surrender, what does it imply immediately? What do you gather when you say surrender?
We know when we surrender, we know we have faith. We are on the right path. We have faith with that element or that person.
Sir, go back to the same example. Why have you gone to the doctor?
Because he's an expert in the field of medicine.
And you are?
A patient. I mean, I'm not an expert in that field.
You are ignorant, is it? I have no knowledge. I have no know-how how to deal with my personal health issues. So I go to a specialist and ask, how do I deal with my problem? And once you get that knowledge, you surrender. You don't, as you rightly said, you do have faith. You don't go and challenge their knowledge or wisdom. You have no ego, but primarily you seek an advice because it is in areas of ignorance. So surrender always happens in areas of ignorance. Remember that. You do not know. I do not know. So I go and surrender. But to believe that Guru's blessings alone will, oh, I need Guru's blessings. What do you mean Guru's blessings? You seek their blessings. I seek my Guru's blessings. We all should seek our Guru's blessings. You seek so that you learn to bow down, that there is no ahankara, as you rightly said in the first sense. You seek their blessings to curb your ego. But what do you mean Guru's blessings? Anugraha, they say, Correct? Gayatri Ma, they say anugraham irukano, isn't it? It's a very nice word. But what is Guru's blessings? What do you mean blessings? And contrary to that, in the Gita, Lord Krishna says, Uddharet Atmanatmanam. He says, you got to raise yourself, you got to lift yourself by yourself. Who is saying? Jagat Guru is saying. Lord Krishna himself in the Gita, he says, you have to lift yourself by yourself. I can't do anything. You mean to say Lord Krishna gave 18 chapters of Gita knowledge to Arjuna? You mean to say he didn't bless the Guru student? Kashish, you're following the arguments? I knew.
Guruji, I'm following what you're saying now, but I don't know how we jump to Guru's blessings.
We walked into it. We didn't jump, Kashish.
I don't know how we walked into it, Guruji.
Yes, thank you. Because, if I start jumping, I'll have a little back pain. So I'm a little averse to jumping. So we quietly walked into it. Now, we spoke about the blessing in the context of surrender. You surrender, you seek an advice in areas of ignorance. You got that right?
Yes, Guruji.
Now, I said you seek their blessing. We bow down to a guru. And you seek your blessings of your parents, elders. You see them, you greet them, you touch their feet. It is a gesture of seeking their blessings. It only tells about an attitude of you have no ahankar, you have no ego. So for that reason, you bow down to them, you touch their feet. So it is your humility. You don't assume yourself to be anything else. So you bow down. So that's right to seek their blessings. But when you say Guru's blessings is needed in my spiritual growth, I'm trying to understand that statement, because that word anugraha, a Sanskrit word, it's a very beautiful word, means you need their blessings to evolve. So on one side is this statement where people believe I need my Guru's blessings to grow spiritually, vis-a-vis Lord in the Gita says, Uddharet Atmanatmanam. You got to lift yourself by yourself. You got to raise yourself by yourself. So my question was, did Arjuna not have the blessings of Lord Krishna? He had or he didn't? A very dear friend. Kashish, you think he had or he didn't?
I think he had, Guruji.
He had, isn't it? He would have had, because he gave out so much wisdom to him he wouldn't have done that without any love for his friend. And he said, later on he says, you're my shishya also. It's because Arjuna surrendered to the Lord, because initially he was only looking at him as a friend. So there is a contradiction here. You get what I'm saying? When you say my Guru's blessing is needed for my growth, vis-a-vis the Lord saying you got to lift yourself by yourself. So it highlights a certain element. What we're saying is that it comes to three standpoints here, which I'll highlight.
Guruji,
Yes, Kashish, go ahead.
could you say that in Krishna saying you've got to raise yourself or lift yourself, that is in itself the form of the blessing? It's the teaching of self-sufficiency?
It is the guidance the Guru gives you. It's like a doctor gives you a prescription and gives you with great clarity the medication and the path to recovery. You have sought his advice and the doctor has given you his advice. Arjuna asked him, one of the advices the Lord gave him was, you've got to, you do this. You have to do that by yourself. Put in self-effort.
Yeah.
It is the blessings,
Thank you,
you're right.
Guruji.
But the fact that we said that the point of seeking the blessings of the Guru and what role that plays in one's spiritual development. There are 3 stances, 3 points we are trying to make here. The first point is those who believe, one set of people believe it is that the Guru's blessings alone, the Guru's grace, as CPG has put it, that Gurus, you need the blessings and the grace of the Gurus for your spiritual growth. These are a set of people who think that I will spiritually transform by the grace and blessings of the Gurus. Now, what kind of people are they? These are the people who just depend on the blessings of the Guru and they don't put in any effort. No effort at all on their part. The mere blessings, tatastu, the mere blessings of the Guru will do all the magic and the miracle. Majority of the people belong to this category. And what category they are? Can I ask Ashama?
Pranam Guruji. They're still trying to find their way. They're still
they're very clear that Guru will take care of everything. And his grace, anugraha, his blessing, if he sees and he, puts his hand on the forehead, oh my God, my head, that is it. Everything is done.
Probably it gives the feeling that yes, you have the backing of someone. Okay, suppose you stumble, the Guru is there to take care of you.
But you will only stumble when you start walking and putting effort, no? If
Yeah.
you are sitting,
Yes,
if you're sitting where you are in comfort and
the
saying,
very
Guru,
fact you're seeking blessings is you're walking that path. And you just ensure that the Guru is there to help you steady yourself.
you always talk the ideal state, ma. So that's the reason I find you don't cooperate at all with me. You are a very ideal student.
I don't know.
Yeah, in fact, you're right. What you're talking of the ideal state. So one category is those who believe that the Guru's grace alone will help them evolve in the journey without their own effort at all. They don't do any sadhana. Guru's blessing alone will take care. Those are the people who are predominantly tamasic people.
Tamasic.
They don't put any effort, but they will go a long journey to get Guru's blessings. I would go all the way to seek the Guru, or I will go to that particular temple. I'll do this puja, I'll do this offering to get the blessings. Everything will go well. Nothing will go well if you don't do anything.
Yeah,
It's like I'm sorry to say, I'm just reminded of example. I'll hear on that. It's like I go to the gym, but what I do, I have made a statue of my gym instructor, and I do puja to the gym instructor. And I seek his blessings so that I get health. Harish, I want health. So what do? I do puja to my gym instructor. A nice, beautiful statue. Question is, by doing puja to the gym instructor, will I get physical health? Ashama, aboliye. Would I get health? Do you have?
कहते हैं कि आप ना मरिए और स्वर्ग ना देखिए. Unless you die, you won't see heaven. You won't go to heaven. If your neighbor dies, you won't go to heaven. You have to die.
No. If my neighbor dies, I'll celebrate today. Waiting, this one doesn't die only, a nuisance to me. No, I get what you're saying. So you cannot delegate your physical transformation to your guru. Gym instructor, you can't say, please, can you do little more dumbbells weight for me? I will pay you a little extra. If he lifts the dumbbells for you, his muscle will become strong. Your muscles will not become strong. So you can't delegate your spiritual transformation to your guru and say, please bless me and I will transform. Tamasic fellows, the majority of people in the spiritual field belong to this category. They just throng to places just to get a glimpse or get an opportunity of blessings of the guru. Tamasic fellows, nothing they will do. Rajasic people are the type of the people, they say, they question it. What is the guru doing? Huh? He doesn't do anything. I am slogging from morning to night. I put in so much effort. Obviously, the fruit belongs to me. What role guru plays here? Tell me. So they arrogate their karma phala to their own actions. They denounce the role or an active role of a guru in one's life. Rajasic people. I do. I don't think the guru does anything. Okay, he tells me to do, but who is doing? I am doing, no? The instructor has told me to balance my diet. He is eating everything. I am only fasting. No, I am starving. I am putting the effort. It's my effort that has brought about the health, not his effort. Okay, he's given certain advice. Rajasic fellows, they don't give credit to the guru. They take the credit to themselves. And the sattvic state is what Ashrama was trying to bring out, is you keep the guru in mind at all times. You fall back to seek advice so that you don't lose your track, but you keep treading the path, but you have him as a GPS. It's like you have a GPS on your dashboard while you're driving. Every time you keep falling back, am I in the right direction? But you are driving, you are treading the path, but you need that as a guideline. That's about all. So sattva is where you understand the role of a guru and you understand the importance of self-effort and you bow down and surrender at all times so that you don't develop the hankar like a Rajasic person. You still choose to surrender and bow down at all times. Therefore, Sant Kabir says, I surrender to my guru who has shown me the path to Govind. Balihari Guru Apne Govind Diyo Dikhaya. You showed me the path to Godhood, even though I tread there, but you showed me the path to which I surrender. I did not know that. I surrender to that. An ideal guru is one who has become one with God, ultimately. Before I get to that, Kashish, you got that? The 3 standpoints, Kashish? Could you help recapitulate, please?
You said the first type of person is one who believes it is through the Guru's grace alone that they will achieve spiritual growth. And you said this was predominantly tamasic people.
Without self-effort. Please add
without
that clause there.
Mm-hmm.
That
With
clause
no
is very
effort,
important.
just acceptance.
Just acceptance, yes.
Without self-effort. Like doing puja to a gym instructor for help.
God, you jotted that down.
Yes, Guruji. I always jot down the examples because they help explain it when I'm trying to talk about it afterwards.
Oh, please. But please say that the example given by Guruji is Guruji's example. Huh? So
Yeah, of course.
I have a certain proprietary over it.
Intellectual copyright, understood.
Intellectual copyright. I know you will understand that. That's true. Yes.
Second type of person you said is those who question the guru every step of the way or question the guru's guidance. I think you said they arrogate the karma phala to their own actions, so they don't give credit to the guru, only to themselves. These would be Rajasic type people.
Yeah.
And the third type is those who keep the guru in mind while walking on their own path, akin to someone driving and using a GPS for guidance. This would be sattvic type people.
Perfect. Great, Kashish. So in the beginning, we said Guru is just an idol. An idol has to be used only as a means, so it's not an end. So because you may develop an attachment to it, therefore we said it's an idol. And I said at the end, the Guru could be interpreted as an ideal itself, because in the initial stages we said the ideal is Sushmama. In the beginning of the class, we said the ideal is what?
The Guru is the idol. The ideal is infinite or God, what we are wanting to reach.
Yes, perfect. So you got the point that idol, the reason of calling the Guru as an idol, as a symbol, is so that you don't develop an attachment to the symbol, but to get to the goal of realization. Now, at the end, now we are saying the Guru can be treated as the ideal, because a true Guru is one who has become one with Godhood. Isn't it? A true Guru. As Guru who has attained self-realization has become one with God.
Yes.
So the true ideal is the Guru himself, because he can't show a path if he has not reached there, isn't it? He is reached, he's reveling in that stage, so he shows us the path. So ultimately we understand that the Guru is the ideal, the very goal I'm trying to reach. However, it doesn't justify any attachment to the Guru at all.
So that is what this doha is. That is why they are saying, because as you said, that the true Guru is who is himself self-realized.
Yeah. That's the reason Kabir ji says, I surrender to my Guru, but not to God. You know, he also clearly spells it out, because you have shown me the path to God, therefore I surrender. In that sense, he also puts it. But so you get the message, Ma?
Yes, Guruji.
So
But,
message
but where do we find a true Guru like that? For people like us, where do we find a Guru who is self-realized?
that Guru may be there very close to you, but yet you will not know.
Yeah, that's true, because we don't have the intellect for that.
We don't have the eyes to gauge. It's like if I'm standing on the ground floor, and if I'm standing at the in front of a tall skyscraper, and I wonder what is the view from the penthouse, which is on the 30th floor of the same building. I'm at the ground floor, the first floor. I have an apartment on the first floor. There is a penthouse on the 30th floor. I stand on my first floor balcony. I have a view. I wonder, what is the view from the penthouse balcony on the 30th floor? Can you guess? Impossible, isn't it? You don't have that vision. Exactly the same way, we with limited intellect cannot gauge the spiritual state of a man who has attained realization, not even realization. Even you can say, you'll agree with me, I don't have the idea what is from the 10th floor. from 15th floor, from the 25th floor, forget the 30th floor. If 30th floor penthouse is self-realization, from the first floor, second floor, how would I know what is the view of the 10th floor, the 20th floor? So we can only know perhaps from the first floor, if this is what is, second, third floor, I think we will have a little better vision. We can guess because you're somewhere thereabouts, but not way beyond it. So we should never, we should also, but we would never know whether a guru is realized or not. You would ever know.
Never know.
Never know. So it is a blessing in disguise, certainly. Again, I'm using the word blessing. It's not contradicting what we've said, but to be in a presence of a realized soul is a blessing indeed.
It must be a rare opportunity.
Indeed, a rare opportunity. Yes, a very rare opportunity. But whoever helps you evolve to the higher ladder could be considered as a guru. Your guru can be your rickshaw wala also, your tanga wala also. Your rickshaw wala, your garbage picker, he gives you an advice. If that helps you evolve, he is your guru. It doesn't have to be a guru giving wisdom discourse. So what?
Guruji, sometimes we can learn a lot from a child also. I have an experience. If you have the time, I can tell you something.
Please, by all means.
This is, I'm talking of about 25 years ago. My granddaughter was about 10, 11 years old, studying in the school, and one of her friends or classmates stole her copy where she had these notes. So to cut it short, there was a lot of trouble, and this girl was taken to the principal and all that. And anyhow, few days later, I was visiting my son, and there was a phone. I picked up the phone and I said, "Who's speaking?" She says, "Akanksha, can I speak to Ruchika?" So I said, "She's in the bath. You give me a message, I'll tell her." So she said, "I wanted to ask something about the homework." Now, this was the same girl who had taken a book away. When Ruchika came out, I said, "This girl was ringing and wanting to ask you your help and all. And she was the one who stole your book only." She said, you know what she said? She said, "Dadi, if a person makes a mistake, it doesn't mean that that person is going to be bad forever. So she made the mistake. And if I help her, then that is how she will not make the mistake again." My God, I thought I was so stupid, and this little child of 11 years old has taught me a lesson today. And now, a few days ago, I had gone to visit them, and now they are both grown up working. And this girl was visiting. And Ruchika said, "Dadi, do you know who this girl is? My friend." I said, "No." She said, "She's Akanksha. And now we are best friends now." So, you know, I realized how we can learn something, as you said, from a rickshawala, and this, and from an 11-year-old child. I learned that if someone has done something wrong, doesn't mean she's bad forever. So we can learn from anybody.
Absolutely. And for you to have had that flashback of that, something which happened 20, 25 years ago, and they both, you know, visiting, and, you know, it's such a rare, it's a divine coincidence, I would say. You know, it all adds up, and if you're able to connect, and I can see the smile and joy when you share that, you know, absolutely. Beautiful.
You see,
Very
if
beautiful.
she had that bad feeling in her mind, she couldn't have said, "We are best friends." Because as a child, she just thought, okay, she made a mistake, doesn't matter. I'll help her now. And that is how they became best friends.
Blessed. She's blessed. Wonderful. Thank you, Ma. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. I have told people, but they don't listen to me at all. How many times I've told? They will not follow anything that is said. How many times RPG I've told you, change the paint color of your wall? Because the hand you raise and the wall color, it matches. I can't see. Have I not told you before?
I believe you have. I didn't know that was the reason. We'll get
That was the
the
reason.
chief engineer, we'll get the chief engineer to,
No, get the finance controller to approve the
Well,
bill. Then everything will
they're
happen.
everything, yeah, they're
Everything will
everything.
happen.
Yeah,
Yes, RPG. Boliye.
I'm the Rikshawala, so. So this ideal, the guru is ideal, that's just to clarify, that's in a relative sense, right? Because one, we don't know whether they're self-realized or not, but we don't know any different either, right? So in a relative sense, they're the ideal, but in an absolute sense, I mean, we don't know if that's, I guess I'm a little, we're not associating it with the absolute ideal, right, at this stage, because we don't know.
Yes, relatively you can say so, because we
Yeah,
don't have the
okay.
vision, and we should neither, nor do we get into the point, is this man realized? It's none of our business. My business is to realize myself, full stop. If he has not realized, let him strive to do so. If he's realized, good for him. And I'm glad I'm in his company, that's all.
Yeah, because they're helping me reach this,
Right, that's true.
whatever.
Absolutely.
So if they're at the 29th floor or the 30th floor, their aim is to try to get us there as well.
Yes.
So I'm there, I want to get on this lift, or however you want to take the metaphor, and
Yeah.
keep climbing.
So if I'm on the first floor, a person on the 10th floor also is my guru. A person on the 3rd floor also is my guru. A person on the 25th floor is also my guru. The person on 30th floor is my guru. But once I've reached the 15th floor, thereafter, the person who has helped me till that, he has served this purpose. So it's like, I think a better example would be, let's say if I want to scale a mountain, let's say I want to scale Mount Everest, the peak, the summit. I would have people taking me to the base camp, a different guide. But once, even to get me to the base camp, it's a 1 week trek. I need a guide to get me there, guru to get me there. What to, what not to, what gear, when to go, how to go, which route, etc. But after the guide thereafter says, this is where I come up to, from here, these are the people who will take you to the summit. I am not the person who takes you to the summit. I can't, I have never summited the Everest. I can come to the base camp. Do you mean to say, do you disregard the guru who brought you up to that point? Thereafter, you realize you need somebody else to take you further, isn't it? So everyone is your guru from the lower standpoint, everyone is a guru, but it's not to sit in our judgment, what is their capacity limitation, where they have reached. As long as they help you evolve, you will surrender to them. But let's not sit in judgment whether they have reached or not. That's the reason Christ says, judge not others, he says. And we should not make that mistake in the spiritual field. Do not judge others.
But ultimately, to get to the zenith, you have to do that yourself.
Absolutely. You want to get to the self, you will have to do it yourself. Even to go any step to evolve, you have to do it yourself. Guru will not do it for you.
Yeah.
You know, the mother can lend that hand to that finger to the child, but it's the child that should take that first step. Even to encourage the child to crawl, the mother encourages the child has to start crawling, isn't it? The guru cannot put an effort for you, will not and cannot. It's not that will not, he cannot. How can, I just said, you can you delegate your physical health to your gym instructor? Cannot. It's absurd to think that way. It's also absurd to say, I have done everything myself. Who are you? What is your knowledge? There's so many things I do not know. So it's a blend of your effort plus surrender and utter humility towards your gurus, to seek their guidance and blessing. It's a blend. In fact, they go like a track. They both go together right through. One without the other has no meaning. Sattva is to have these both elements in your life always, all the time. And that these as a track, you move forward. Isn't it, RPG? But what we have learned is to understand we should not get into a personality worship. That is not surrendering to the Guru. And the second thing we also learned is we all should cleanse the photographs and frames in the house. Little bit of cleansing is required. Okay, Harish? Little bit of cleansing. Huh? And then after that, what trouble you get into in the house, don't call me. Guruji, I did this. This is what the trouble I got into. What do I do? That part you have to deal yourself. Okay. Right. Yes, Setuji.
Hariom Guruji, I just wanted to share this Nisargadatta Maharaj. He was a BD maker and he was a very realized soul. He lived from 1897 to 1981. And Maurice Friedman, who was a follower of, who himself was a very evolved soul, spiritual European who migrated to India and who was a follower of Ramana Maharishi and who was assisting Gandhiji. He was well versed in Indian languages. So he happened to pass through this BD shop in Bombay in a bylane and he heard Maharaj talking Vedanta to some BD buyers. And he was stunned how someone is there. He knows he realized he is a realized soul. Then he became a follower of him and spent a lot of time with him. And his Marathi talks, he translated into English in 1973. And the world came to know about Maharaj. So, extraordinary story. And in the case of Ramana Maharishi, they say his grace made a lot of difference to many of them, but he used to give his grace only to those who are evolved and putting efforts in that path. So selected people had extraordinary evolvement of spiritual growth when they came to his abode. This has been recorded, but it goes to only those. On the other hand, there were ignorant people. Someone in the Tiruvannamalai has put a case on him also. He made him to come to court, but anyway, court went to him and settled the matter. But because he was not a ignorant man. So.
Correct. So, what Situji is saying is, the great Ramana Maharishi's blessing, was selective, means in the sense those who are done enough sadhana and who have the fervor or the mumukshatva, that association with the Guru catapulted their growth meteorically. So it's like fuel and fire coming together. There's a huge conflagration. Am I right, Setuji?
Yeah.
I come with the fuel and the Guru is the spark or the match. The mere first strike, there's a huge conflagration. It devours everything. It destroys your individual ego and then you realize the self, So in fact, exactly this is what yesterday or Sai, are you there?
Yes, Guruji.
What was the message I sent you yesterday?
Yeah, not only the self-effort, the environment also helps in growing, or it will make the effort easier or more fruitful.
Yes. Sai is one of them who's actively, dynamically in touch with me, and what little advice I can give, I keep helping him. So it's an active consultation, and I was telling Sai that you should come to the institute, come for the class, be in that satsang, be in that environment, so that it gives you a greater inspiration, momentum, isn't it? No doubt you have the desire to learn and the interest, but the environment, satsang, that helps. So when these two come together, the growth becomes exponential, which I found it was missing because I haven't seen. I was recommended him to come. There are certain reasons he couldn't come. I appreciated that, but I was only encouraging him to do that. So exactly this what Setuji is saying, when men who had that great fervor met people who had that great aura, when these two, aura and fervor, can we say RPG? Kashish? Asking Kashish because again I'm talking of intellectual property here. But before that, I want to get it clarified with RPG. Aura and fervor, is it the right combination, right? The spiritual aura of a guru and the fervor of a student.
No, that's right.
Have you heard this before?
No.
So Kashish, it is proprietorship of Guruji. So this is.
So are you arrogating now, Guruji?
What to do? I know it's a long way to go, what to do. Thanks for that valuable advice, Guruji. See, the Guru helps you to break the knots, isn't it? So RPG is helping me to break that knot of that ego that slipped in, So the aura of the Guru and the fervor of the student creates a huge possibility of a reawakening within, Tinkima, please write this line in the takeaways. Tinkima does this takeaways. The spiritual aura of a guru and the fervor of a student creates a possibility of, what was that, Kashish?
I believe it was creates possibility for spiritual growth, Guruji.
A spiritual awakening.
Spiritual awakening.
A possibility of a spiritual awakening. So it's that. So it just, I think we have summed up what all we said today, in that simple, beautiful phrase, which is not being arrogated, RPG. Thanks to you. Okay. All right. We would leave it at that. We'll come back. All right. Thank you. RPG, please do paint the wall also. Don't sit in another room. I've got that layout now very clearly in my mind. Thank you. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.